heading down to Tampa, the boys and I. PC Panda Dawn and mud beneath the sky. Cigars in our hands, smoke up in the air. Off to the lounges without a single care. Tampa nights under the neon lights. Smoking cigars, sipping old fashions, feeling just right. With my boys making.
Yes. Welcome everyone. Welcome to the Leaf and Ash podcast. I'm your host Panda, and guys, and of course, I got my compadres here with me. On the top left, as always, we got the big dog, PC Silverback. What's up, dog?
What's up, people? What's up? Good to see you, man. You recouped?
I'm trying, brother. I'm trying. Trust me. Underneath the big dog is the Don Rico Suave himself, the Cigar Don. What's up, baby? How you doing?
What's going on, guys? How y'all doing?
Another day in Happy Land.
Absolutely.
There it is.
Yeah, it is on the top right, guys, as always. He's the wizard behind the scenes, behind the curtain. Once again, the boy, a.k.a. JJ, a.k.a. the Cigar Mutt. What's going on, guys?
What's up, baby?
Well, guys, we have a lot to talk about, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
We do.
So, guys, those who are watching, as you can see, the title of this is the Tampa trip, our first retreat. Before I give you guys my input and stuff like that, before we get started and talk about our trip, what are you guys smoking? What are you smoking, PC?
I have the Placencia 151. Yes, sir.
Man, he's gonna start banging. Okay, all right, I see you. What are you smoking, Mutt? What are you smoking?
The Jaime Garcia.
Great stick.
Reserva Espacial.
The Reserva Espacial. Let me tell you, that cigar I keep on saying is so underrated. Not even underrated because I wouldn't say that it's underrated, but I would definitely say it's not talked about enough. That cigar is actually one of those cigars that I absolutely enjoy. I wish I'm surprised people don't talk about it as often. But we'll get back to that in a minute. What are you smoking, Don?
I have the Black Label from the West Tampa Cigar Company.
Nice.
And interesting enough, I'm smoking the West Tampa Red Label.
Ooh, that's so good. Golly.
So, guys, and like I said, before we start talking about the trip, West Tampa cigars have been on my radar for a while. And it's funny because I was having a hard time finding them down here. And it's funny, it wasn't until our trip to Tampa that we actually I got introduced to it. We're going to get into a bunch of first times, right? A bunch of first times. But let's start off with this. This is my first question I pose to each and every one of you. What did you guys enjoy out of all the things that we did? What one particular thing that we did that you guys were like, what, that will always stay embedded in my brain? Start with you, big dog.
Well, man, I know I don't want to steal nobody's answer, but you can. Hey, man, it had to be the JC Newman tour. That was phenomenal, man. It was everything I expected, but unexpected.
Yeah.
It hit all the markers for me, man. It's like, okay, if I can get a trip going to the DR to check out a factory, I'm on that plane,
Right? I mean, it's one of those things when we were done, right? We all kind of had the same consensus. We're like, this is the tip of the iceberg of hands-on rolling. Because we got to see things on both perspectives, right? Machine made, and we actually got to see handmade. And it was a very small, very minute that a portion of what we got to see as far as the professional hand master rollers and blenders on the top floor. But before I get more into details, how about you, Mo? What stood out for you out of the trip?
Well, just being able to hang out with you all was, we could have just stayed in that house the whole time and I'd have had an amazing time. But just the side of the cigar world I've never seen. Like I said, the rollers and just the bustling cigars scene I've never seen in my life. I
Mhm.
mean, our city is like Bourbon Street. It only smelt better. Um, um, it's just it was a lot to soak in, and I think I'm still soaking some of it in. I was on sensory overload. That is for sure.
Mhm.
You know that and I told you guys because I've met Don and I've met PC before. This was our first face to face encounter, right? And my biggest concern was you coming from a small town in Oklahoma to a big city like Tampa, right?
Mhm.
You know, my concern was I didn't want you to be overwhelmed. That was my biggest concern, and I think that was everyone's concern. That we're like, I don't want you to be like, yo, this is too much, you
Right.
know. But I could tell you, I don't know if these guys noticed it. I'm pretty sure they did. That when we all first met and we all got together, you were kind of a little bit conservative. You were very low key, very quiet, right? He was very quiet, right, guys? I mean, it was
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you could
Yeah.
tell that there was some anxiety there. You know what I mean? Because it
Yeah.
was like, you know what? You don't know what you're gonna get into, but you know that you flew into a big town, and like I said, there's a lot of firsts for you. But before we get into all your firsts, because there was a lot for you, I'll get back to you in a moment. But Don, how about you, my brother?
So for me, just first and foremost, that I got to go on the trip. It was a very stressful week here in Houston, Texas, beforehand with Hurricane Beryl. So you know, just that I got to go on the trip and be with you guys was, but like Jay just said, just hanging out with you guys. The JC Newman tour of the things that we did, either the JC Newman tour or that dinner that we went to was probably my two favorite times, because just seeing all of us with like more food that they could fit on the table, that was kind of crazy. But yeah, those two things might stand out to me. But I just was super happy that I got to go, and shout out to my wife for holding down the fort here with all this stuff going
Yes.
on.
Thank you, Mrs. Sweeney, for allowing Don to come and play with the boys. You know, for me, honestly, guys, I think the best moment for me out of everything was the first night when we all got together. I grilled some steaks for us, and we sat down at the table. We said our grace, and you know what? I was happy and grateful for having friends like you guys that entered in my life. And I'm not to get too fuzzy or emotional, but you know what? That part meant a lot to me because breaking bread, as you know, is a very important personal thing. And I don't know for you guys, but I know it is for me. If I choose to break bread and let alone cook for you guys, I ain't gonna lie to you. You know what I mean? You guys mean that much to me. You know what I mean? Yeah, going to JC Newman was nice and it was a good experience and stuff like that. But to me, for me personally, I enjoy watching JJ every time we walked into a shop. And don't take this the wrong way, big dog. Don't take this wrong. I felt like a proud papa. You know what I
I know.
mean?
No
You know what I
worries.
mean? I felt like a proud papa because you know what, guys? I'm gonna post the video when JJ walked into Cigar International Superstore, and because it even blew Silverback's mind when he first got there. And mind you, Silverback has plenty of lounges, that he's gone to. But if you guys have never been to Cigar International Superstore, it could be in Tampa, wherever else. You know, it's one of those eye-catching, like, holy crap moments, right?
Oh
Because
yeah.
you walk in and you're like what the where? Like, if you listen, if you're an enthusiast, that humidor will be. It could be very overwhelming, you know.
Yeah.
So it could be over. So JJ, I want to bring this back to you, man. You know, I know I videoed you, and like I said, I was like a proud papa, man. I ain't gonna lie to you because I see that kind of that little shit grin you had, and you were like,
Oh yeah.
and you look so overwhelmed in a sense, but not overwhelmed in a bad way. It was more like which way do I go? Like a kid in the candy store. So let us know how did you feel that moment when you walked into Cigar International?
Well, I was blown away at the fact that that humidor, the vast size of it, you could put the lounge that I do go to at times and its parking lot in the humidor. And just the overall selection is something I've never seen with my own eyes in a true brick and mortar. It's all I've seen that type of selection on the computer, but to be able to virtually buy whatever I wanted, and there's just so many sticks I wanted to try, and I'm just like, I'm actually looking at you now. I mean, I'm not on the computer thinking, I hope I like this. I'm gonna order a couple of them. I could just pick them up right there, and it was so awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely, and I introduced you guys to a bunch of lounges out there. You know what I mean? Because I've been out to Tampa. Out of all the lounges that we hit, which one impressed you the most? Start with you, JJ.
Impressed me the most, the overall experience of the cathedral.
The Grand Cathedral?
The Grand Cathedral. Just because I've never been to anything close to that. I mean, that was just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That and the selection at Cigar Castle. Surprisingly, the selection at Cigar Castle. And that place was awesome.
That place, and from the outside, it looks like nothing. You know what I mean? That to me, and that was our impression. The guys that I go with at my shop, and because I had found it, and I introduced it to everybody because I saw it online. I'm like, this place looks pretty cool, and like I told you guys, the guys at the shop, that's always our last stop. That is a shop that we always go to every night at the end of the night. How about you, PC? Which one were you impressed with?
Well, it's two that really stuck out. I guess because they caught me off guard with the 20-foot ceilings, and then what is it? I know it was CI. That I caught myself off guard with that one, and just to see that glass and see all of those sticks in there. But then when we went to what was it? Is it King Corona? Corona? I get the names.
King Corona.
King Corona.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I was floored. I had to walk out the door and walk back in all over again because what did you call it? A walk-in store, humidor?
Oh no, that's not King Coronas. You were talking about Coronas.
Yeah.
Coronas.
A humor store. A humor store.
The humor store.
Yeah, I remember Don's comment. What the is a humor store? You were about to find out, brother. You were about to find out.
Hey,
Because,
and I'm telling you, as many lounges as I've been into here in Georgia, man, and that thing blew me away. So that was my biggest takeaway as far as lounges. Now I did enjoy, like JJ said, Cigar Castle. I really liked that one because they had some selections. The prices were, phenomenal, and it was just one of those things. It was the total trip was an experience, man.
no. Do it right. Do it right. Yeah, there it is.
It was an experience.
I'm just
I'm just
want to
saying.
explain this to you guys in a minute because BC was feeling really nice one night, and everything was about the experience.
It was the experience.
All right, Don, what's up with you, buddy? Which one did you
So just in sheer kind of impressive, the one that stuck out to me, and we didn't get to fully enjoy what it was all about because of the weather that on Friday afternoon, was the Sterling Rooftop Lounge. I thought that was very elegant, very classy. We actually smoked a couple of West Tampas in there, and we got to sit out on the porch on the actual rooftop a couple of minutes, but then the storm came in and we had to go inside. But I think that place would just be a really cool place because those of you who haven't been to Ybor City and 7th Avenue, at night, it reminds me of a mini Las Vegas, Boulevard, or a mini Bourbon Street, mini, the main strip in Nashville. Just people going up and down in all walks of life and all stages of sobriety. It was just really, really fun to people watching. I think that would be really cool up on that rooftop lounge. So that one kind of stuck out to me.
Yeah, that Ybor nighttime trip was absolutely. It was a first for me too, guys. I could tell you this. Like I said, I've been to Ybor City with my guys multiple times. We normally go every year in March, and it's so funny. So, yes, the Sterling Lounge I've never been to. This was the first time I was able to experience it, and I'm glad I was able to experience it with you. It was good. I enjoyed the rooftop. The thing is that place is just way too small for me, right? Because it's like super small. It's like a bowling alley, right? It's just, the humidor is this big. The prices are, in my opinion, they're up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're paying for the ambiance, right? You're paying for the atmosphere. And mind you, they have live jazz, and it's this big. But I can see myself, if you're there with your wife or your girlfriend or whatever, you know what I mean? It's a great spot for you to just go and enjoy yourself and relax. And I've been to Cigar Castle, the Cathedral, and this and that. The one that shocked the heck out of me was King Corona. Because if you guys remember, my opinion about King Corona was, listen, we always go there first. We have food. The selection absolutely sucks. There's really no selection, but we'll go just for shits and giggles. So you guys walk in. I'm the last one to walk in because I'm like, whatever. I walk in, and I'm going and looking around. I'm like, is this the same freaking place? I walk back outside, look at the sign. I'm like, yeah, I'm in the right spot. I go back in, and I'm going, holy crap. This place is ridiculous. Not only do they have a better selection, you guys got to understand. So the last 3-4 years that I've been going to King Corona, it's very old. It was, or should I say, it was very old, you could see it had a lot of potential, right? And they didn't have a walk-in humidor. What they had was cabinets, and that one section where we were actually sitting at, with the cigars in the cases. The bar was okay. We mostly went there for the food. They had great food. Next year, I know we find out there's a new owner. They pushed the wall out. They made a walk-in humidor, and their selection was ridiculous. They had a ridiculous amount of selection, and the bar was absolutely phenomenal. And I was to the point that when I got back, I told that to the guys, and they're like, there was no walk-in humidor. So they're definitely looking into it. So that to me is what impressed me the most. Like I said, Sterling was a beautiful place. I absolutely love Long Ash. I absolutely love the four rollers that are there. There is a puro Nicaraguan of tobacco. To me, that lounge, I'm gonna have to go online and order a bundle because you know what? They're $6. For Robusto. And let me tell you something. It was, and I don't know how the heck I asked him for how much would it cost. He said he'll give me 50%, and I walked out without getting me a bundle. I'm like, what the heck? Not to say we didn't have already like 300, 400 cigars already at the house. Guys, any of you guys take a picture of the amount of cigars we all brought?
I did.
I didn't get them all at one time.
I don't think I did.
Could we put them on top underneath the television? None of us took a picture?
I don't think so.
So, guys, you got to understand this. So, we all got there, and we're like, oh, I brought this for you. I brought that for you. I brought this for you. When we laid them all out, we had to have what? 200 cigars?
At least.
At least.
And, guys, that's our first day without us buying anything at any of these places. We we came back home with how many cigars? Listen, I started unpacking. I unpacked my laptop. I found 2 more Ziploc bags. It
Oh
was
yeah.
absolutely bananas, man. It was absolutely bananas. I was like, you know what? I'm like, I have no more room. I'm gonna have to bust out another humidor from my closet and get it marinated and throw some more in there because it was crazy. You know,
Hey, I gotta add, on the way back through the airport, TSA opened up my luggage, man. He was like, man, let me get one of them cigars. I said, go ahead and get you one. It was just too many, man, to count.
But I'll be honest with you guys, like, I ain't gonna lie. This cigar, let me tell you, I mean, I'm glad we found this cigar. I ain't gonna lie to you because you know what? It's been on my radar, and not to change subjects, but you know what? Dude, I ain't gonna lie to you guys. We're gonna have to find the CEO. We're gonna have to get a hold of this cat, and because I'm a fan.
Oh,
I am a fan. I'm an absolutely fan, but I don't want to get off topic. I don't want to get off topic here, but so let's go to the restaurant, Para Campo, Puerto Rican restaurant. Go. So I got to share this little story with you guys. Those of you that are Puerto Rican, y'all know we
Stop
eat
it.
habichuelas, red beans, right? Or arroz con gandules, right? So how is it that brother man up there on the top left asked the waitress, can I get white rice and black beans? Guys, I could have sworn this lady was going to take a what we call chancleta and crack brother man over the head. I'm like, brother, we don't do black beans, man. We do red beans. So I ordered as an appetizer for those of you who know, an acapurria y pastelillos. Other people know them as empanadas. Puerto Ricans call them pastelillos. I want to get your intake on the food. I'm gonna leave JJ for last. JJ cracked me up. Don, go. You tell me, brother. What you think of the Puerto Rican food?
It was good. I was a little nervous because I can't eat, the way I used to, and so I was a little nervous but I was even more nervous about the spice, if it was really spicy, but it really wasn't. It was really good. I ended up having, the
Chuletas,
yeah, those things,
pork chops.
And I had pork chops, and then I had a couple bites of the appetizer there, and it was really good. But for me, the overall, it was an experience. We went in there and we sit down, and probably 30 seconds after we sat down, they started singing "Happy Birthday" to somebody in the back, and the entirety of the restaurant started banging on tables, and I was like, "Whoa!" And it was just really cool.
And it's not a small restaurant.
No,
by far it's not. So you got listen, and my people were there representing. Everybody's banging on their tables, singing, and but PC, you talk to me, bro. What did you end up having?
Man, I promise you, I had
not having black beans.
Oh, I had the breaded chicken breast with red beans and rice with plantains.
The plantains.
The plantains. I love the plantains, but I gotta say this, man. The appetizers outweighed the entree. We didn't need to order entree after the appetizer.
I was worried.
And I have not eaten that much food in so long, dude. But it was all delicious, man. So it blew me away. The meal, the experience of the happy birthday party. I mean, everybody's celebrating their birthdays.
So there had to be at least 15 people's birthdays that day?
Had to be.
It was
back to back.
They had the maracas, they had the timbales, they had all sorts. It was crazy. If you guys never been, it's called Para Campo. Guys, it's in Tampa. Great, phenomenal Puerto Rican restaurant, man. I highly recommend if you guys haven't gone to go. So now you, JJ. So now, those who don't know, you're married to a Mexican wife.
right.
So you guys have, I'm sure you eat tacos,
Oh, yeah.
tamales, all sorts of stuff. I would never ask you to compare because I would like to see you tomorrow. So I mean, listen, we definitely cook different. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, every culture, every Latin culture kind of cooks different. Probably the closest culture to the Puerto Ricans, in my opinion, is probably the Dominicans. But like I tell you, tamales, the closest we have to tamales are called pateles. And that's normally a holiday tradition that we normally eat instead of like an everyday thing. What I mean, and you had what did you end up eating? The pollo what is it, malenisi?
Yeah.
Which is basically you basically had it was pollo empanizado, which is a breaded chicken with some cheese on it, white rice, red beans, and sweet plantains.
Mm.
Yeah, guys, dude, if you guys ever seen what was that movie with Bill Murray that he was kind of like a and what's his name was his therapist and what
Oh,
about
you're
Bob?
talking about what about Bob? Yeah.
What about Bob? That's what JJ reminded. He would eat. He like, And I'm like
That first appetizer, what was that called again?
the no acapurrias.
Oh,
He took pictures and sent it to his wife. I was like, man, you trying to get me hurt?
yeah. Okay. This is the new standard in my house.
Oh no, don't do that. Don't do that.
No.
Dude, I end up having the pork chunks, white rice, red beans, and totones. And you know the crazy part, guys? None of us finished our food. We brought them home. We brought them to the Airbnb. It was that much food. It was crazy, and the price wasn't even that bad, you know. And listen, and I could tell you guys, I enjoy that moment. Just watching you guys enjoying my culture, my food that my people enjoy eating on a daily. You know, that to me, I absolutely love. You know, so I could tell you that I'm glad I was able to share that with you guys.
No,
So,
Well, we're leaving out too the photographer that came by and took pictures, and
Oh.
PC's got it as background right there. Like, you know,
no,
when does that happen as at a restaurant?
listen, and we all bought them. We all bought it. And you know what? I'm grateful for it because you know what? God forbid is our last trip, which I doubt. You know, dude, that it's a memory that will stay with me forever.
most
You know what I
definitely, most definitely.
So here's a question that I posed to each and every one of you guys. So obviously it was the first time that everyone got to meet each other for the first time because, like I said, I met Don before, I met PC before, I've never met JJ. What did you guys see different face to face or discover something new about each and every one of us? Don, you go first.
So this is gonna make you laugh, PC. But for me, you have this larger than life persona. Like you know, this big dude. You know, got the big silverback and everything. And when you got out of the truck, I was like, well, he ain't as big as I thought he was. So that was my first impression. You know, I think you know what's so cool about what we do here is everybody's personality was exactly the same as it is what you see right here. It was nobody's putting on a front when we're doing this stuff. You know, it was you know like Panda said earlier, you could tell JJ was a little bit reserved at first, and then which I think you generally are anyway with people, and then
Right.
you know once he got comfortable with all of us and comfortable with the situation, and we got to that first that CI, it was it was back to normal for everybody. So that's.
Yeah.
But my first impression of PC was like, wow, he's not as big as I thought he was.
That's hilarious. JJ, what says you, brother?
Well, hopefully nobody says my forehead's bigger in real life. Oh, you were going to, weren't you? To me, everybody was, just like Don said, everybody was as advertised. And I knew we would mesh even more in person, but I never expected it'd been like that. But yeah, you guys, to me, you were as advertised. Nothing out of the ordinary for me. I mean, and like I said, that right there, and that when I knew that at that point, it was I said, that was the icing on the cake. I'm like, these guys are the real deal. And of course, I knew that beforehand, but that just kind of put the cap on it for me.
Nice. What about you, big dog?
Well, I have to say, man, what you see online versus what you see in person, it just enhanced it for me. You know what I mean? It became real, because people put up these personas, these facades, what have you, and when I got in the company of the four of us in one room after we greeted each other, I think I had a moment to myself. I had an out of body experience. I had a conversation with myself, like, these are the real deal. I can rock with these guys any day, 7 days a week, So and it was a beautiful thing for me, man. It was an experience.
It was an experience. I got you. I think what I got out of everything was that you guys walk freaking slow. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. You guys walk slow. These guys walk like snails, guys. You don't have no idea. These guys walk like snails. I'm on the opposite way, but you got to go the opposite way.
That's right. My camera's this guy here.
So PC, the first time when I go pick him up, man, I'm walking. He's like, "Hey, are you in a rush to go somewhere?" I'm like, "Well, this is just the way I walk." Guys, you got to understand, I'm originally from New York, and everybody in New York walks fast. And it's funny because I don't realize how fast I walk until I'm with other people, right? And these guys started making fun of me. I'm walking, next thing you know, I'm literally walking by myself. You know what I mean? They're behind me laughing their asses off on me. And I'm like, yo, what the hell? What's going on? They're like, where you going? Wait, what's? I'm like, that's the way I walk. I can't help myself. So, guys, here's my question: what you guys think of the steaks I cooked for you guys, man? Look, those bad boys were marinating for 4 days. That's my own private, personal recipe. Yeah, they're about that thick and about that long. We had some little difficulties in the beginning, but yeah, but you know what? I think the charcoal, I ain't gonna lie, the charcoal ended up making it taste a little bit better, in my opinion. I ain't gonna lie to you. Mm-hmm. But that was another damn meal that I couldn't finish. That was for damn sure.
Yeah, I
did. You know what? Let me tell you something, guys. That boy up there could eat. That man there up there could eat. That man tore that steak up and that baked potato like that. Yeah, man. Good flex, big dog, flex. I was like, yo, I'm telling you. Once again, don't take offense to it. I was like a proud papa, man. I'm like, that's my dog, man. That's my dog. And I was like, you know what? I'm glad you guys enjoyed it, man, because I put a lot of love into those steaks, man. I wanted to cook for you guys. Then the next morning, I made breakfast for you guys, and yeah. So Don has never eaten Spam. Those of us that grew up extremely poor, I'm gonna tell you, Spam was the ish. And to this day, the panda loves his Spam. I love Spam. I can eat Spam. I can put Spam, regular cheese, and an English muffin on a bagel and tear that bad boy up. No problem. Easy. All day, every day, twice on Sunday. You know what I mean? But yeah, yeah. Did you guys enjoy the dinner?
Absolutely.
Enjoyed it, bro.
Good,
well,
man.
I think eventually one of us will pry out those 3 or 4 extra herbs and spices you ain't telling us about.
Listen, man, people have been trying. I gave these guys about five of like the 9 to 10 other additional stuff that I add to my marinade. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know how you like your massages. I'm paying for your next masseuse and hypnotist.
Dude, listen, and let me tell you something. See, in the crazy part, they've never sat that long. And I ain't gonna lie to you, man. So actually 4 days on the 4th day to cook them, and charcoal, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Even on the open fire, on the propane, they taste good. But I gotta say, I ain't gonna lie to you. I was impressed myself with them. I was like, you know what? That charcoal changes the flavor big time.
Oh yeah,
it was good.
Charcoal.
Well, and that was part of the experience too. Was we were I think that was the time when we were on live on TikTok while we were cooking, and we went to go check on the steaks, and the fire was out. We are like, what the? Oh my god! And so we ended up punting and throwing some charcoal in there, and it was one of those side by side kind of grills. You could do charcoal or propane, and I think it ended up, like you said, enhancing the experience.
But how long did it take us to get that charcoal? You could say that charcoal's been sitting there for a minute. It was wet. It took us forever, and I was like, "Oh my god!" All I talked about was these steaks, and I just want these guys to enjoy a good dinner. And I'm like, "Oh my lord!" And so, but yeah, you know what? It was a good night, man. I'm just like I said, I'm extremely grateful that you guys enjoyed it, and you know what? I can't wait to our next trip. You know, I really can't, guys. And if
The after dinner.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say the after dinner padron was really kicked it off too. Just that was a nice touch. You know,
I was gonna bring that up now. So there was a lot of firsts, especially for this guy up there. You know what I mean? A lot. So if for those of you guys don't follow us on TikTok, by all means follow us on Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, etc. You know what I did as a treat, as our dessert after the steaks and potatoes was an 80th anniversary padron. You know, what did you think about it, JJ? Because it was your first padron, right?
Yes. I knew at that point that once I got home, I better find about 4 or 5 more jobs because I'm gonna smoke a lot more than that boy. No, it just capped off that beautiful steak we ate and that potato, and it was just a perfect stick for that moment.
Right. I mean, to me, I told you guys that's the stick that I normally smoke once a year, normally on my birthday. You know, that's my cigar that's very near and dear to me because you know what? Like I said, it's my every year birthday present to myself. And first of all, I couldn't afford that cigar to smoke every damn day. You know what I mean? And to me, that's why I choose that stick, you know, over the 40th or the 90th. It's just something about that particular cigar that I enjoy. And you know what? I wanted to share with you guys, you know, something that's a part of me that I do, like I said, every year. And I'm grateful and I'm thankful that you guys enjoyed it. And I'm just happy that I was able to share that experience with you guys. What you think about that, Don?
well, you know that you're right. That 80th is a special cigar, and it usually is a cigar we all reserve for a special occasion. But that was a special occasion for us. That was breaking bread for the first time and all being together, and you know we got into this as a brotherhood, and you know I just think that was the perfect choice for that moment, was for all of us to light up, and it was hotter than the devil's armpit out there. I mean, we were all like, okay, I got to go in and get some air conditioning for a second, but you know what? None of us thought about that during that cigar because it was that good. It was, we ended up. I think that was after we got off of TikTok Live, but we ended up, on the phone with a couple of people, just chopping it up, just and enjoying each other and just those are the things that I'm going to remember. We all remember the JC Newman, and we all remember the Coronas and the castle and all, and the cathedral. Those are stuff that a year from now I'm going to remember. All of us sitting around doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. What's up with you, PC? What you think?
Well, I want to echo what Don said. It's the perfect stick for the perfect time, man. And what better time to break that stick out? And to me, I think that should be our anniversary stick, man. Once a year, we fire it up. To kind of do a recap on the first retreat and say, hey, brothers, here's to you. So it's the perfect stick.
Listen, I'm all for it. We'll mark that day in our calendar. Every year, we'll all smoke it together. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of smoking, we decided to smoke the egg, the Drew Estate egg. So everyone's laughing because. So you know what? I'm curious. I mean, we kind of already know what we all thought about it. But you know what? I'm gonna start with you, JJ. What did you think about the stick?
Uh, on an aromatic standpoint, it smelled good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and maybe the first couple hits, you may have got a little bit of something,
Mm-hmm.
but that was not. It was fun to smoke. I had a blast smoking it, but that was a very bland cigar. The experience was just in all the bull crappery we did as we were smoking it. And, you know, our little challenge we had set up, but I was expecting for it to be in a Drew Estate cigar. One, for it to smoke a lot more, be a smokier smoke than it was, and two, to have a little more flavor.
Right.
All right, especially when you read the notes on there, right?
Right.
Right.
So this is the box, right? And in short, it basically states the following, right? Drew Estate's reputation for creative blending and dedication to the achievement of the impossible. Which this egg, I mean, you got to give it to, because you know what? Not one egg is all the same, right? They're all different, because all of our 4 eggs look different. Which
Right.
in that type of unique cigar, you can't expect it to be the same. You know, now in the beginning, what it says on the box here, right? It says the beginning is creamy. I'll give it that. I'll give, you know, at least the aroma. You know what I mean? There was some creaminess, but it said when it got to the middle, this is where I completely disagree with it, right? That it's gonna be stern and stony deep in complexity. And what else does it say? It says extreme what the heck it says? Climax of the extreme the center is gonna be stern. You know what? It fell flat. It
did.
fell flat. And you know, yes, it's a gag, right? It's a gag because it's something that you don't smoke every, because no one will ever try to smoke. But you know, it's one of the, if you guys have never tried it, listen, try it just for the heck of it, just to say you can say you smoked one, right? But we all agree. It got to the point that none of us finished it, right? We couldn't finish it because there was no. Once it got to the middle, it was dead. It was nothing to it. Absolutely nothing to it. And you know, when you smoke a cigar, when you smell your feet, you could tell you've been smoking a cigar, right?
Right.
Even on your tongue, on your palate, you could taste that you've been smoking a cigar. I had nothing. And I was like, and I agree with you, JJ. You know, for being a Drew Estate stick, even if it was a gag, I would have expected more smokiness, more, maybe a little bit more earthiness, a little bit more flavor. You know what I mean? Something that's gonna be like bam, because this was the Maduro. You would have thought that it would have packed a punch, right? Especially when they got to the egg part of it. And I was like, dude, this is just ridiculous. I'm like, I'm done. I'm done. What says you done? Because you were the first one to drop your ass.
So that's what I was just about to say. We had a contest to see who could get the longest ash on the egg, and we were all holding our cigar up straight, so you look like an ice cream cone just about, and we were sitting there and we're all looking at each other going like, this is terrible. I hate to use the word terrible. It wasn't terrible, but it was just no flavor at all whatsoever, you know.
Right.
And for me, you know, it was like we're here to smoke good cigars, not. And it was truly a gag, you know. What we were all going to smoke it together and that kind of thing. But you know, finally somebody said, "Well, I'm not dropping my ash. I'm not dropping my ash," because we all had a contest going. I finally just reached mine over to the ashtray and went, "Boop! I lose." Because
that was funny.
I was like, I didn't want to continue with that. That just. And like you said, I smelled my fingers afterwards. Just, you know, I still smell from the shower. It's like, okay, this is kind of weird, you know.
It was weird, and like I said, not even in your palate. No, I didn't taste nothing on my palate. Absolutely nothing. It was, and we smoked that right after breakfast, right?
Right. And I expected, because we went to Corona's right after that, and I expected like, okay, we're gonna smoke this egg, and then we're gonna go to Corona's. Like, we're all gonna be just whirling from this egg, and none of us even felt like we smoked a cigar. It was crazy.
Yeah, for real. What says you, dog?
Well, you know, not to put down Drew Estates, but I come to realize that it was just that a gag gift. I was like, okay, this is something I want to put on the shelf, put it in glass or something of that nature after smoking it. And then when we got to the center of the thing, I was like, I'm not a quitter. I know I'm gonna taste that Maduro taste, and then after a while, it was like just torching yourself, buddy.
Yeah.
So it's a gag gift, So
Listen, all I heard was wah wah wah.
yeah, for sure.
You know. So on another note, like I said, it was a lot of firsts for JJ. A lot. So I introduced JJ to a drink called the old fashioned. So I have a buddy that makes his own, his own version of the old fashioned stuff like that. And I'm like, you know what? Let's try this. JJ absolutely loved it.
Oh yeah.
And everywhere we went, we had old fashions. And JJ was like, I guess it's really popular around here, isn't it, man? So what did you think about the drink there, JJ?
Well, I tried to make me one. I failed.
You bought the bitters?
Well, no, but I need to.
Hey,
The first time I drank that, I'm not gonna lie. Halfway through it, I'm like, "This is gonna mess me up. This is pretty strong." But just everything about it, just the flavors, the orange zest, the cherry, and I really like just the bitterness and the sweetness of the drink together. It just it works, and it can make you feel pretty good pretty quick.
real quick.
And it just pairs with, I haven't smoked a cigar with it that I don't think hasn't paired well with it. And it's just, for me, if I'm going to be smoking cigars and tipping back a glass, it's definitely going to be an old fashioned.
And mind you, we've tried them with Old Forester, 100 proof. We've done it with Woodford Reserves.
Mm-hmm.
We've done it with Elijah Craig. These are the bourbons of Buffalo Trace. Those are the bourbons that I enjoy mixing the old fashions with. To me, I think those are the ones, and I think 100 proof, a little bit lower, are to me are the ones that I enjoy the most. You know what I mean? You need the sugar cube with the bitters, and so you can crush them all and stuff like that. So that you need go on YouTube. There's a bunch of documentaries on how to make a good old fashioned. You know what I mean? But the cherries, don't get the cheap cherries, man. I'm telling you, I'll find out the one I have in the house. It's in a white and blue jar. Those are the best. And if you can't get them up in Oklahoma, let me know, and I'll ship you a couple of bottles, man. Trust me.
Yeah.
But like I said, there was a lot of firsts for you, JJ. First, Liga Privada number 9 Bellicoso. What you think of it?
Well, I have one. I smoked one at Corona's with an old fashioned. It was beautiful together. I have one in the humidor. I'm gonna save that for a very special day. I think that is one of the best cigars I've ever smoked.
Mm.
And
you said that your top 5 changed drastically from 10.
Oh yeah, I'm so confused. I don't even know what my top 5 is. What I had as a top 5 is gone. To be honest, there's only about 3 cigars in that whole humidor that's in my top 5. But that was a beautiful cigar. And the what was that other one? The La Gloria Cubana,
the Series S.
Series S. That's a good cigar.
You know what? PC and I, we found that when I picked PC up, because I took PC to Cigar International first after I picked him up from the airport, and we're walking up and down, and I'm like, oh, check this stick out. Now, for me, it was kind of a hard of a draw, you know what I mean?
Right.
But the flavors were on point, man. I was like, oh, JJ's gonna love this stick.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna absolutely. I'm like, this stick is like, okay. I mean, like I said, I enjoy the Glorias. You can never go wrong, But obviously, that Liga, like I said, I'm a big Liga 9 guy. I'm such, and I know I'm biased. Have you had the Tabernacle yet?
I'm still. Well, I had that David you sent.
Right. Or that's
But
yeah.
this one in the Toro size. I haven't had it yet, but I'm waiting.
Yeah, and, you know, and but that's not the only stick that it was the first time.
No.
Guys, you understand there was a lot of firsts for JJ. A lot. You had the Olmec,
Oh,
The
yes.
Tatuaje.
the Tatuaje.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Aladino Corojo. I finally found that stick after
Yeah.
looking forever for it, and I thought it was a good stick.
Yep.
Yeah, there was a lot of firsts.
And I mean, there was every stick that I thought that Black Label.
Oh, the last rights.
That's right.
Beautiful cigar.
Guys,
Oh.
you understand when I tell you, I'm like you understand to me when I got back from Tampa, you know what I mean? Like I said, I've been to Tampa a bunch of times, you know, and to me, my biggest I don't say concern or worry, but you know, there was some concern in regards to JJ because, like I said, this was his first time going to a big metropolitan city. You know what I mean? And you know, my concern was the fact that I wanted him to one enjoy himself, two feel comfortable enough to be able to let his guard down. And I think with the first few hours, I think we all could see the difference, right? I don't know about you guys. I know I did. You know what I mean? Because the first couple, JJ was very quiet, very, very quiet. And JJ has a sense of humor that it's ridiculous. It's fun because he comes with these one-liners that are from like
King of the
from
one-liner.
New York. There's certain one-liners that dude, it definitely ain't from New York. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
he comes out, you know, I'm happier than what is it? I'm happier than a dog with
Three-pecker puppy.
three pack. Dude, you know what I mean? He comes up with these damn crazy one-liners that absolutely freaking just. But you know what? This is what I love about the guy. You know what I mean? And you know, to me, I wanted everyone to enjoy the time together. First of all, you know, because like I said, I had my one-on-one with Don. I had my one-on-one with PC. So I already knew our chemistry. You know what I'm saying? And my biggest thing was to make him as comfortable as possible because you know what? I knew he was out of his element. I knew that there was going to be a bunch of firsts, and I'm happy. I'm proud of you, bro, and
Thank
I
you.
can't wait to see what else the future holds for all of us because you know what? I can't wait for us to go and do other trips, other places. You know what I mean? Because I
Hey, but-
definitely want to visit. I gotta go this way. Texas. I can't wait to go to Atlanta.
Georgia. Yeah.
Right. I can't wait for us to go to Nicaragua. You know what I
Oh.
mean? Because I ain't gonna lie to you, to bring back JC Newman, to me, it was just the beginning. And I started talking about that earlier and I stopped. But all that at the end of that tour, I'm like, yo, we got to go to Nicaragua. We got to go to DR.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, because if we enjoyed a machine making a cigar and a couple of guys doing hand roll, can you imagine an entire factory, a farm? Can you imagine that?
Oh,
And we always talking about how many hands touch the stick. We got a chance to see that even with the machine, how many hands that stick goes through the process, and then try to compare it to what's going on in the DR. It'll be mind blowing because it's just off the charts, man.
and then that that aroma we got when we went down to
Oh.
the second layer. Now, once we go to Nicaragua or the DR, imagine that times 1,000. I mean, because they just had those roll around bins full of tobacco. These guys are going to have thousands and thousands of pounds of tobacco, and just that the smell
Somebody-
walking down there was just beautiful.
Hey, but somebody has to describe the basement, the private stash that we witnessed, man. Somebody,
The
please.
pre-embargo, the only tobacco bundle that they have in the world. You know what I mean? And guys, you know what? I would definitely do the tour again, without a doubt. You know what I mean? Yeah, the history with listen, JC Newman has been around for many years, and as we learned, them and the Fuente family are very tight knit. You know what I mean? Um, I think that like I would definitely love to go to Nicaragua to go check out Placencia, go to Perdomo, go to a freaking Eric Espinosa, go. I am on a mission, guys. I am on a mission. You know what I mean? To go to all these factories, big and small, because as you know, there's a particular company that we've all spoke about earlier. In our earlier podcast. If you guys haven't looked at it, check out our first podcast. That's the company I'm talking about. There's some big things going on with that particular company. I can't share openly, but
But
to be honest with you, there's I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm excited. I'm
we have to
excited.
also mention that before the tour started, Eric Newman popped in on us, and we briefly met him for a short period of time.
How laid back is that man?
Oh,
Oh, very laid back to be somebody with that dominance, in the industry,
And I don't know about you, like I almost felt embarrassed to ask him for a photo moment. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie to you, I did. I'm like because I don't get starstruck. I'm not that person. You know what I mean? But to me, it's not that I got starstruck with him, but I respect what him and his family has done for the industry.
mhm.
You know what I mean? That's how much respect I have for the industry as a whole. And this is why I said this is why I never say you never see me say, "Oh, a cheap cigar." What's my favorite word?
Inexpensive.
Expensive.
Inexpensive, right? Because whether it's a $2 cigar or a 20, 30, $40 cigar, you had a bunch of people have their hands on it. You know what I mean? So you got to give it that respect. That's always been my respect to it. You know what I mean? And to me, it's not a cheap cigar, it's an inexpensive cigar because you know what? There's people that had to labor over it. And
Yeah.
to me, you got to give them respect because it is a craft. It is a craft. At the end of the day, someone had to pick the leaf, take the leaf out of the fields, format it, dry it out, put it in the process, rip them apart, roll them up, for us to enjoy. You know, and I'll be honest with you guys, do I do more than ever, I want to go to DR and Nicaragua, bro. And I would love to go to Brazil. I would love to go to Honduras because, like I told you guys, I'm a big Matafina guy. I would love to go to
Mhm.
Brazil. You know, I've been invited to Brazil a bunch of times, but unrelated to cigars. Is more on this on the stuff that I do on the more on the combative side. You know what I mean? And I told them, I said, I'm not ready yet. When I retire, maybe that's something I might do in Brazil. But to me, the Matafina tobacco, I am so interested in. I ain't gonna lie because that's a cigar, rather tobacco that if I ever create a cigar personally for myself, I want that tobacco to be involved in it. You know what I mean? I definitely want that because it's such a to me. I put Matafina, and people might think I'm crazy because it's so unique. I put that next to the San Andreas, the Connecticut Broadleaf, because it's so unique, and to me, it changes the profile of a cigar so much. You know what I mean? Even whether it's a wrapper or a filler, either one, it changes the aromatics of that cigar. You know what I'm saying? And to me, I'm just such a fan of the craft as a whole, man. I'm like I said, smoking cigars is no longer a hobby; it's a part of life for me. You know what I mean? It really is. Like I said, my kids have never seen me without a cigar. You know what I mean? In my mouth ever. My oldest is gonna be 24. My youngest is gonna be 18. And they're like that. Every picture they see with me is always with the cigar in my mouth. And and it's like what it is what it is. That's who I am. It's become part of me. It's who. Like I said, I've been smoking. When you look at it, I've been smoking almost 30 plus years. You know what I mean? I'm 49. And I enjoy every aspect of cigars, man. I really do. And what what I enjoy more is the bonding of what is created. And that's why I came up with the name Bonded by the Leaf, right? Because that's exactly what it does. Because think about it, guys. None of us would have met each other if it wasn't for this.
True.
Correct.
True.
That's a fact. That is a fact. None of us would have met if it wasn't for this. And I'm grateful for it. I really am. I'm grateful for it. Even though mine right now is falling apart, I don't want to really show this, but it is what it is. I end up buying. I told you guys I end up buying another another Zycar gel for my humidor because dude, my humidor was dropping down to like 52, man. I don't know what the heck is going on. Look at this. Look. It's falling apart on me. Look.
How's the humidity?
Now it's gone up to 60, 63. So the wrap is completely gone on this cigar. But I know it has nothing to do with the cigar. I know it has to do with my humidor.
Well, I'll say this. I brought so many cigars back from Tampa, man. The wife immediately jumped on the computer and ordered a whole nother humidor. I was like,
Hell
I was like, I love you.
Bro,
It's nothing like having that support, baby.
heck yeah, man.
And, and as I normally do, I always listen to you guys talk about cigars, and I get them fingers a pecking. Well, I finally
sir.
seen the Jaime Garcia, and let me tell you what, this is a fine cigar, my friend.
You got some spice to it, don't it?
It's very flavorful.
Oh yeah. Jaime Garcia is one of those cigars that I in my opinion, is not spoken about enough.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I really don't think that it's spoken about enough. I mean, I think that they make a phenomenal product. It's definitely a lot better than certain cigars that you guys are gonna laugh, that made it that list to number 8. I won't mention the 8 and what list it got on, but yeah. But the Jaime Garcia, like I said, there was a lot of firsts for you, man. A lot.
What?
Do you know?
Well,
Go, PC.
No,
I
I
got
was
to tell you
saying
about the
before-
asylum that I bought at I think I bought it at Cigar Castle.
I gotta say this to Don. I really appreciate you giving me that CAO Extreme. Man, that cigar is, dude. You just gave me one. I was like JJ while smoking it. Oh, man, where can I find a box?
Yeah.
It's crazy because it has Honduras, Ecuadorian, and Nicaraguan, and that cigar. Listen, I'm back on CAO kick. I ain't gonna lie to you. Well, you saw my humidor. My humidor is a CAO,
Right.
and I ain't gonna lie to you. Out of all the CAOs, that's my favorite right now. That's my. It really is because it's such a unique flavor, man.
And I'll say this, even if it's a new cigar smoker, I would introduce him to that stick
Oh yeah.
easily because it's so smooth. It's not going to overpower you, and the flavors that you get out of it, man, that one's going in the top 5. At
Well,
least
see,
the
I
top
wouldn't
10.
go to the top 5. I wouldn't
Top
see. I
10,
couldn't go to the
top
top 5. See, listen, it would be probably on a different list of
Yes.
introducing to guys. You know what I mean?
Right.
It'll probably be in the top 5 of introducing guys because if you introduce that Habano, if we want to talk that Habano nub, that Habano nub is ridiculous. That Habano, even the Cameroon, and I'm not. Guys know I'm not a Cameroon guy. Even the Cameroon, I'm a big Habano nub guy, and then let me tell you something. That cigar it blew my mind, and I'll keep smoking that bad boy. I keep on buying that bad boy and cigar bit.
Oh, yesterday I had the CAO, the Pilon Anejo.
Pilon. Come on, man. You got Latin in you. Pilon.
Pilon. And it was a fine cigar yet again.
It's a great stick. It's a good stick.
I haven't smoked much from CAO that I don't like.
Yeah.
at this point. I've have veered away from the ones people say they don't like because, we're similar in what we like. So if you don't like it, I'm probably not going to like it.
Right.
Which I think is what the MX2.
Yeah, the MX2. You know what? I'll be honest with you. I'm gonna have to revisit it. I'm probably gonna buy me like 2 sticks and let them sit for a while. I was not a big fan of the MX2. Now the Brazilian, the BX3,
3.
that was a good stick, mind you. But it's 3 times the Brazilian tobacco in there, and that could possibly be why I love that stick. You know what I mean?
Right.
The MX2, I don't know why I couldn't even finish it. Yeah, for whatever reason, that stick it didn't agree with me. To me, my palate was like, oh my god, like let it go, let it. Whatever you spent for it, just suck it up for experience, buddy. Just suck it up for experience and keep it moving. But yeah, I listen. There's a. I'm up. Listen, CAO. I'm back on that kick, and even Rocky Patel. You guys know. For a while, I kind of just stood away from Rocky Patel, but that Rocky Patel 60th is. I got to give it credit, man. And it seems that obviously, apparently, Rocky moved his factory and his farm to Nicaragua, and that could be a drastic reason. You know what I mean? But you know what? I'm still haven't had figure out when I'm gonna smoke that conviction. I'm having a hard time smoking $100 cigar. On any other day. So I'm kind of just fighting with myself. I know Clint's been waiting for me to smoke that cigar and get my opinion on that one, as well as the Envy, the Rocky Patel Envy, which he says is a good stick. So the Envy I could purchase. The Conviction, I don't know if I could spend $100 on a cigar, man.
Well,
I've yet to find it, man. The justification.
I'll say this: even though we're talking about $100 stick, Placencia had $100 stick that they just come out with in the red tubes, and we saw those in Tampa. I get back home, my home lounge has that particular stick, and I was like, knowing what I get from the Amafuente, I'm like, I might have to buy $100 stick of Placencia.
Now you're talking about the six though.
might.
You're talking about the I'm up with the 6 though, the green label.
Yes, the green label, yes. But I might have to try that stick one day. But that's somebody's gonna have to have a baby or either get married for me to smoke it.
Yeah, I just you know what, I have such a hard time spending anything. Like even a $50 cigar, you know what I mean?
Right,
It's just
right.
so hard for me to justify to spend that much money on it, man. And it's just, and it has nothing to do about the money.
Right.
It has to do about what makes this cigar worth $50.
Right.
Don, you smoke that foundation $40 stick, right? And to me, I'm a big foundation guy. There's no secret about it. I'm a big Nick fan, Nick Malilo, right? I'm a big fan. How do you justify it? You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. Everyone that smoked that Conviction keeps on praising the heck out of it. I'm just hoping that I'm not disappointed with it. That's all.
Are they
But
praising
sometimes
the
curiosity killed the
prestige?
cat.
Right. Is it the prestige of the stick that makes it taste good? The people that praise? Because at some point there has to be a point of diminishing returns.
Right.
There has to be. It's just, and that just depends on somebody's palate, really, I guess. But to me, if I was smoking $100 cigar, I'm going to say that thing blew my mind out because I paid $100. I mean,
there's nothing worse to you spend. The only good thing about this, guys, it was gifted to me.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Listen, so good, bad, or indifferent. But with that being said, I respect the man that gave it to me.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Clay, Memento Cigars. And him and I somewhat have the same palate for the most part, despite that I'm more of a peppery, I like that hard spice. He's not much into pepper. You know what I mean? He likes the smoothness. He likes very smooth caramel, some chocolate, but I like dark chocolate. He's probably more of a smooth, milk chocolate guy. You know what I'm saying? His palate is very refined, but I respect his. I respect him as an individual, and I respect his opinion,
Yeah.
right? Because there's very few people in this world that be like, okay, I'm gonna try because of he smoked it, he enjoyed it, right? Because there's some people that, oh, this is a great stick, and I'm like, dude, this is trash, man. This is ridiculous. It wasn't even worth the $12 that I spent to it. But you know what? Whatever, I'll finish it. But with that being said, I digress. So I want to give a kind of a shout out to Viking Picks, right? They were true to their word. Markel and Wayne, I want to thank you guys for showing up and hanging out with us in Tampa. I'm grateful that you guys hung out with us at King Corona's. What else did they go with? We met them at Cigar Castle.
Cathedral.
And that's right, at the Grand Cathedral. And you know what? Markel and Wayne, they're really cool people. If you guys haven't checked out their product, what is it? VikingPicks.com.
Yeah, I'll put a link in the description of this video.
There you go. Great people. We're great. Their time, their friendship, and you know what? We had a great time with them. We, like I said, we enjoyed our Tampa trip, guys. Or at least I did. I mean, I can't speak for the rest of you guys. But I know
I was contemplating not even using that trip back. It was a two-way ticket, and I didn't have to use it. I would have sent money home. I would have been working for cigars at the cathedral.
It's a beautiful lounge. Yeah. So those of you that don't know about the Grand Cathedral, it's a historical church in Tampa that they converted into a cigar lounge. Now, the only issue that I have with the cathedral is that it's way too small. There's not enough sitting area unless you're a member, and you have the 2,500 level annual membership, and then you have the 5,000, which is the second floor. And obviously, we were told that they apparently they lost a big battle with the city, because you understand the cathedral sits in a primary residential area, and the residents complained to the city, and the residents won. So no one's allowed to sit outside. I was told by the owner that they're working on something. I'm hoping that they enclose the outside, to have more sitting room. You know what I mean? Which to me, in my mind, makes more sense. You know what I mean? Just enclose the whole damn thing. So you have you have that extra section, so you have more people to come in and enjoy your lounge. It's a predominantly Fuente lounge, so you could definitely get any Opus stuff like that. Obviously, they're limited on what you could buy. And listen, there was no secret. I shared with you guys. To me, the best price in Tampa for Opuses of any kind is in Cigar Castle. As you can tell, how many empty boxes they had. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you guys understand. I said I ain't buying no more cigars. I'm done. We end up the second to last night, guys. Jeez, Louise. Let me tell you. I go there just to buy one cigar. How is it that I leave with 10 cigars plus 2 boxes? And PC ended up buying the second box because it was buy one, get the second one half off. And I'm like, good Lord. I walked away, because I'm going to bring another sponsor per se, Pufferland, which JJ has the humidor behind them, who gave us all a desktop. I brought a desktop of the following cigars, guys, to share with these guys. The Padron 80th anniversary, the Casa 1910s, Ooh, now I'm having a brain fart. What else did I give you guys?
That Island Jim, the Nutty Hooker.
Right, the Island Gym home blend, the Naughty Hook, and there was something else. I can't remember. I think maybe that's all it was, right?
It was another Island Gym. It was the
Or the Nick and Jim.
Nick and Jim.
Nick and Jim. So, I'll be honest with you guys. To me, they have some great selections, right? They had a great selection. To me, and this is what I say, we always end up at the Cigar Castle. Because to me, the Cigar Castle, guys, if you're in Tampa, is one of those lounges that it's your local lounge, right? You guys got to see it. It's your local lounge. It's nothing fancy, nothing really crazy, but the selection is absolutely bananas. Absolutely bananas. Go on cigarcastle.com and check them out. They have 52 beers on tap, every liquor from A to Z. To me, the cigar selection there is by none. It's one of those, and the prices. And we checked out some Placenses in all the lounges, right?
Yeah.
So that to me is what blew my mind. I don't know about you guys. So here in South Florida, the Placencia Sixto on average is $22 to $23. We saw that cigar at Cigar International for $35.99 for one stick. Other places we see them as high as $32, $28. I think that I can't remember what Cigar Castle had them, but I know they were the lowest out of all of them.
I think it ranged anywhere from 16 to 22 bucks.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And what PC mentioned at Cigar Castle was the age on the cigars that were in there. They were phenomenal smokes. Like I said, that's where I got that last rights and smoked it, and it was just.
Yeah, I know I loaded up. Like I said, I went there for one cigar. I walked out with 2 boxes and 10 cigars. I bought almost every Second Amendment cigar. Didn't I, Don?
We both bought each of those.
And guys, listen, to be true, I've only smoked one of them, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I smoked the Barber Pole. I did not care for it.
Mm.
Don smoked the Habano, right? You said it was pretty good.
The Habano was better, yes. Nothing to write home about. It wasn't that one that blows you out of the water, but it was good.
Yeah, and listen, guys, if there's anything you can get from us is an honest review. If I don't like it, I'm gonna tell you I don't like it. Yep. Doesn't mean that these guys here are gonna say that they enjoyed it. You know what I mean? It just wasn't for my palate. The Barber Pole, I couldn't even finish it. Matter of fact, I emptied out my ashtray. I was gonna show you. I left about that much left. You know what I mean? Which was probably half or a little bit more than half. To me, I just, the profile just wasn't there for me. To me, I didn't enjoy the notes on it. To me, like I said, it was not an enjoyable smoke. It really wasn't, But I'm looking forward to smoking to the Habano. Like I said, I bought 2 of every freaking Second Amendment just because it was Second Amendment. Obviously, you can see what I represent. So, what else, guys? I mean, we did a lot.
So for me, like I don't want to let the podcast get away without a huge shout out to Hawaii Bill.
Go ahead, Don. Tell them about Hawaii Bill.
So we met Markel and Wayne back at King Corona's after we left the cathedral. Here we are. You can kind of see in PC's background there. We're all wearing the same shirt. We all have our shirts, and we're in there, and this group comes in, and I don't know if they were there for business or vacation or what this group comes in, and they're obviously all from Hawaii. They're in Hawaiian shirts. They're, and so they sit down, they're having a good time. And we watched this guy, and he couldn't have been 5'2", 122 pounds. He walked to every single table. Hey guys, I'm Hawaii Bill. And just took pictures with everybody. We tried to take a picture at the end of the night with all 4 of us and Markel and Wayne. He jumped in that picture. just it was an enjoyable, and like 4 times during the night he came over to the table, and just me messing with him, I'm like, hey man, are you from Hawaii? And he didn't remember talking to me from before. He'd be like, no, I'm from Hawaii. He just went nuts.
He was lit.
He was lit up.
Had a great time.
Yeah, he was saying, hey, how you doing? I'm Ben from Hawaii. So, dude, he photobombed everybody out there. And let me tell you, for a guy that was only 5'2", that man's voice could project.
Oh yeah.
To the point that he went, hey, everybody. And everyone just stopped. The
bar
whole
just got
entire
quiet.
lounge went quiet. Hey, give a shout out to Hawaii. And everybody started clapping. It was Hawaii Bill. That was something. That was something. Oh my God. So,
Yeah, I'll tell you another moment for me was when I stepped out to get some fresh air, and to meet the owner of King Corona. And this guy, you wouldn't have known he was the owner of that lounge if no one ever told you. And he was just as gracious. Hey, thank you for the coming, whatever. I was like, no, I'm coming back. He was like, you're more than welcome. I appreciate you coming by, and he was just a great guy, man. I
He
think
was
that
in there
was
moving tables and moving chairs and get
exactly.
something.
You're right, Don. Yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off, brother.
That's okay.
I agree with you. You're right, because you know what? What impressed me the most, he's wearing regular clothes, nothing fancy, and this man's moving chairs, moving tables, and you know what? That's a business owner you want to work for. You know what I mean? That's a guy that's like, I'm going to lead by example. At the end of the night, I met up with him and I told him I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back just so that I could do a one-on-one interview with the cat, so we could put him on our podcast. Because if you guys ever go to Tampa, you need to go to King Corona. Because let me tell you something, my expectations was this big. Because we weren't impressed the last 3-4 years that we've gone as a group. And when I mean group, with the guys from the cigar lounge, that I go to. And, when I walked in, this guy has done a lot to this lounge. A lot. And to me, you know what? He deserves the praise and to be acknowledged. I was like, dude, you know what? You've done a phenomenal job. Keep up the good work. And mind you, on 7th Ave, how many shops are there?
Every other business, it seems like.
Guys, if you've never been to Ybor, downtown Ybor, 7th Ave, there's a lounge probably every third or fourth business. Easy.
But that goes to prove, don't tell me that you can't, compete with other shops, with as many shops that were side by side, and every shop was, functioning and very, very, they were getting so many customers. It was no way that you could not compete or stay in business. There's no such thing as competition when it comes to that. And you can almost see where they work hand in hand in a sense. What do you think? You tell me.
Yeah, and for such a nightlife kind of deal, we enjoyed it during the day. We were there during the day the first time, and we enjoyed it during the day. And when we went back at night, we were all just cracking up. I'm thinking about the guy that got carried out with. He had a bouncer on each arm and a bouncer on each leg, and this dude was unconscious. Thoughts and prayers to that guy. I hope he had a decent morning the next morning, because woo, man. And then just seeing the every walk of life and people were going up and down the street, and every stage of dress that you could be in. Just we're half the time we're just heads are snapping, going, what is going on here? And it just really enjoyed that nightlife part of it. And I'm not a huge nightlife guy. I always joke here, if I'm not in bed at 10 o'clock, something tragic has happened. So being out late and seeing that whole nightlife thing was really, really cool for me.
And being able to meet Belkis and her partner, that was extraordinary. In itself.
From Crown Heads,
yeah.
We were at Corona's cigar lounge, and they were sitting at a table over from us, and you could tell they were doing some kind of work, and they had bundles of cigars, and Panda just walked up and said, "Hey, what do you guys got going on?" And formed a nice little, we were able to talk to him for a while, and then we, unbeknownst to us, they were doing an event at CI that night, and we were going back to CI, and we walked in, and they were like, "Hey,"
Yep.
and we hadn't seen them that morning, so that was kind of cool.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, they have a great cigar, man. That Cornetta Habana and the Cornetta Habana Earl, man. I smoked those two sticks, dude. I can't wait to see them when they come to Georgia. I'm gonna go to their event in September, and I'm hoping to go ahead and get a box. I know you guys got boxes from them. It's like, dang, I missed out on the opportunity to get a box, but I'll see them when they come to Georgia. You know how that goes.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I apologize. Who we talking about?
Crown Head.
No, he's
I mean, yeah.
I'm telling you, that 4 Kicks Kappa Espacio cigar they have is phenomenal. It comes in a box of 24. They're more of like the short Robusto, but they are fantastic smokes. And
I won't say someone stole a box from me, but I'm
The old
not
blood
mentioning no
medicine.
names.
Nobody stole anything. I paid for
I'm
that
not
box.
mentioning no names.
I paid for that box. It wasn't stolen.
Dude, that man almost chopped my arms off, guys. Almost chopped my arms off. I'm just saying, it was crazy, man. The man was like the Flash.
and the thing about it is the blood medicines, they're pretty hard to get.
Dude.
They're an
They-
exclusive stick.
They weren't hard for
He
me
got
to
a
get.
box. He got
They
a
weren't hard
box.
for me to get. I reached in and grabbed them. They weren't hard.
Dude, she's like, well, if you buy a box, I went to step up. He's like, yep, I get that. I got that. Yep. I'm like, this son of a gun. I'm like, okay, I get
Hey,
it.
he took his AMX card and just cut you right across there with
I'm
it.
telling you, man. I end up walking out with nubs, bro. I end up walking out with nubs. I was like, okay, Don, you win, brother, you win. But you know what? I am definitely. It's so funny because look, I have a card right here. So guys, look forward. We're gonna be reaching out to them. We are gonna have them on our podcast and have a one-on-one with her and what's his name? Hank? What was his name?
Miguel.
So yes, we're definitely gonna be reaching out to them. Another thing, guys, listen. I know this is gonna be posted in the next couple of days, but Monday the 22nd, which for us is tomorrow, we're gonna be having Larry Coleman III from Royal Cigars live on our podcast. Looking forward to that. There's gonna be
Excited about that.
Yeah,
Me
so am
too.
I. It's our first live guest. We're gonna be live on YouTube. And like I said, guys, I know we're kind of doing this a little backwards per se, but I want you guys to go back on YouTube and look that up. I'm looking forward to speaking to Larry, asking him some questions to see, and kind of pick his brain.
Yeah.
This is a guest that PC was able to get for us. He's out of Atlanta. He's out of Atlanta, correct, PC?
Yeah, he's out of Atlanta, and I met him at my home lounge. He had an event there. He and I got a chance to chop it up a little bit. Great guy, young guy that's into cigars, man. And I'm kind of excited. I've been, I followed him to a couple other events that he had in town, just to show support, because I want to see these guys. He's a boutique guy, and that's what we talk about. And we've been talking about boutique cigars for the longest, and we want to see, we can, shine a light on him, and I think we can,
Yeah, absolutely. He was gracious enough to send us cigars. We were able to get them, so we'll definitely be smoking with them tomorrow on Monday, on the 22nd of July. Once this gets posted, guys, put your hand behind it. You'll probably be able to do. There you go. I'm looking forward tomorrow for that interview, guys. I don't know about you guys, but I am definitely looking forward to smoking
Absolutely.
that cigar, picking his brain. Obviously, down the road, we spoke about it. You know what I mean? Now I'm not afraid of sharing it with the world and the universe out there. We would love to have our own one day.
most definitely.
Absolutely.
JJ, once again, JJ, what you guys don't know about JJ, you know what? He's probably the quiet of the group, and I'm probably the loudest. If you guys haven't noticed, just saying,
No.
you know. And really, Don, am I that? Am I the vocal one? Am I the vocal one? Am I the vocal one, guys?
Not you.
You don't compete with Bill.
No, never. That man's voice projects, man. But we spoke about having our own line. You know what I mean? That will be something nice. And JJ came up with a freaking beautiful name for it. I don't want to say it right now because I don't want to jinx it. Because you know what? That's a dream of mine. I would love for us to have our own. Have the Mutt, have the Silverback, have the Cigar Don, have the Panda. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
We've been blessed. We've had people offer us to do our blends for us.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? To me, there's one particular company.
Occasions.
Yeah, there's one particular company, and for me, that kind of I'm kind of sticking with. But this is I need you guys to understand this. When we created this, there's no leaders in this group. You know what I mean? There's none. And this is what I loved about the Airbnb that we sat on. Right when we sat on that back porch, what type of table was there? A round
table.
Yes, sir.
It was a round table. And I've spoke about this before. There's no one at the head of this table. You know what I mean? And to me, I'm definitely there's no secret. I'm the more vocal one. You know what I mean? And I have no problems taking the reins and pushing everyone and stuff like that. But you know what? Without these guys, the Panda's nobody. I'll be honest with you guys, because you know what? We all feed off of each other, and we definitely, we put each other in check. You know what I mean? We're very transparent with one another. And to me, you know what? You need transparency, right? You need transparency if you want to succeed in this, because everybody has a podcast, guys. Everybody's trying to do their own thing. I just want us to continue the path that we're on, and hopefully you guys enjoy what we're doing. If you do enjoy what we're doing, by all means, guys, like, share, subscribe, hit that all notification. JJ, where else can they find us at?
Oh, Spotify, Amazon Music. What's that new one I just put us on? It's we're on iHeartRadio. God, what's that called? It's not Rumble.
Yeah, we're working on that though.
Yes, I want to be put on Rumble. I'd like to be put on what's it called?
I want to get us on Apple Music too, man.
That's the one I want to get on, because a lot of people use that app for everything.
Yep.
And that's probably the most used app. I mean, there's not a whole lot of people anymore that use Spotify.
Right.
It's
Apple
kind of
Music it seems I've had a couple of people from my lounge ask me why haven't I hit Amazon. Then there's another thing I want to talk to you guys once we get off and stuff like that. But yeah, and all our social media pages. We're on Facebook, we're on TikTok, we're on Instagram. By all means, guys, if you like what you see, what you hear, by all means, subscribe, share. And like I said, with YouTube, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, hit all, so every time we post something new. And there's going to be we have a couple of people lined up in regards to the near future, in regards to new creators, especially these guys that are relatively new to the cigar world, which is what I enjoy, what we all enjoy introducing to you guys, that you guys would probably never get to smoke or even know about. We got some other cigar companies that we're talking to in regards to hitting us up and talking with us in our podcast. So stay tuned in regards to that. Guys, anything else you guys want to share before we call it a night?
The one
thoroughly
I
enjoyed myself.
Podbean.
What is it?
Podbean. I can never remember that word.
We're going to have to start writing all these down, man. And have it right there. Boom.
Yeah.
But, guys, once again, we appreciate your time. I know this is the norm. Actually, we're beyond the norm. We're about an hour and almost 35 minutes. Guys, like I said, we want to share our experience with you guys. If you guys have any things that you want us to try out, experience, share with us, by all means, hit any of us up. If you want any of us to hit you guys up so we could go on your podcast or whatever, we're more than welcome, because you know what, guys? We want to grow this community as big as possible. We're not in competition with anyone, guys. We're not, we don't talk about religion. We don't talk about politics on our podcast. So if that's what you guys are about, don't ask us to talk about that. Anything cigar related or anything else outside of our private lives, we're more than welcome to share with you guys. And like I said, guys, if you enjoy what we do, please, by all means, hit us up, and we'll definitely try to post whatever we got. We're good?
We're good, babe.
Catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
Peace.